simply suggesting to a young man that he consider a vocation to the priesthood is a powerful force in his life, can have a big impact on whether or not he actually does consider and move forward in pursuing the priesthood. But as we left off the last time, you were saying it's not that simple when priests have these huge congregations and they don't know their parishioners, don't have the opportunity to get to know their parishioners quite as well as a priest with a smaller congregation would. And so we're going to look at this from sort of the diocesan level now. First off, talk about the idea of the number of ordinations that a diocese needs year in and year out. How do you come to that number for a diocese?
Yeah, so there are really two factors that you need to look at in order to calculate the vocations that a diocese needs. And vocation ministry has done some good work around this. So what they've looked at is the number of ordinations that you need in order to maintain your current number of priests, and then also to just have a basic ratio of Catholics to priests available in the diocese. So they use two factors. One is that the number of annual ordinations needs to equal 2.4% of the number of current active priests, because if you assume that each year you're going to have some priests who retire or die and some priests who are ordained, and sort of the average age at which priests are ordained, you're going to need to replace 2.4% of your priests each year. And then the other number that they use is that in order to have a healthy ratio of priests to total Catholics in the diocese who need to be ministered to, you need to ordain one new priest each year for every 120,000 Catholics. So for a small diocese, that might mean about one ordination a year. But for some of these large dioceses that have upwards of 1 million Catholics, that would mean that they should be ordaining 10 or more priests per year.
What are some of the dioceses that are doing quite well in terms of this number of vocations per parishioner?
So by far the standout is the Wichita diocese. So Wichita is a fairly small diocese, and they have a lot of priests already. They've got only about 1,000 parishioners per priest. They're ordaining men at a rate which is 300% of their need for vocation.
Wow. Yeah, let me just say, when you look at this graph that I was just alluding to here, Brendan, like there's one dot way at the top, and it's Wichita, and that's the only one. Wow. Well, tell us, because we're running out of time, I can hear the music here. Just give us a couple of other examples of dioceses doing well before we let you go.
A couple of the real standouts are Springfield, Illinois, Little Rock, Arkansas, Des Moines, Iowa, Nashville, Tennessee, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. So
Nice.
all of those are ordaining at least 150% of the number of priests that they would need in order to maintain ministry in those dioceses.
Wow.
And they're all quite small dioceses.